Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about that. I was just put to sleep by these cats, which you can see are doing what cats do very best, and that is, of course, absolutely nothing. Welcome on our live safari. I do apologise if I offended any of you with that start. I thought I was being rather amusing, didn't you, Brian?
I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Brian. Brian is on camera today, and he has a special guest on the thumb today. Who's that, Brian?
Pinchy Whiner.
And it's Pinchy Whiner, the crab, the freshwater crab, no longer resident. Well, we don't know where he's resident. He could still be in his old hole. He might have moved. Very nice, Brian. Excellent. We've come to these lions. We knew they were going to be asleep, of course, because lions sleep during the middle of the day, and they will move around probably as it gets a bit cooler during the night. 23 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 74 degrees Fahrenheit, if I'm not mistaken. So quite a warm day for the middle of winter, and these lions are luxuriating in the shade of the winter woodland. As you can see, he did look up briefly as we came in here, but then went straight back to sleep. And so we'll have a look at him quickly, and then we'll have a look at the females just down the way. Only 3 of them, and I'm interested as to where the other 2 are. The one certainly was with her little babies this morning, and we're going to head off that way and see if we can have a look at them this afternoon. The other one, I suspect, also with those other 3 little cubs, but where they are we don't know. Quite near the camp we had some bushbuck alarm calling earlier, and we thought we might find the little cubs and their mother somewhere around there. We did have a brief look around before we came up here, but they were not around. So that's the case here. We are as live as Jamie is, believe it or not, even though I started off this show fast asleep. Do talk to us, hashtag Safari Live, or questions at wildearth.tv. It'd be lovely to hear from you, and especially if things get a little quiet on the animal front. It's always nice to spark some conversations about Africa, conservation, many issues that you might want to talk about regarding conservation and the African wilderness. Well, we'd be happy to try and address those as we go along. Also, I know there has been quite a lot of query about going to visit those little cubs, which are now, there we go, huge action. You see that, Brian? I think a stick snapped nearby, which got a fright. I'm going to roll forward. There have been quite a lot of queries about us going to see those little cubs, which are now probably only about, 14 days old or so. And a lot of you wondering whether that's sensitive or not, or whether we should be viewing cubs that age or not. And I'll go through that as we drive there, because it's important you understand that we're being as sensitive as we possibly can.
So final control, just give me a click if we're live. Just hold it down for 2 seconds. We're right in the bottom of a drainage line, so the radio signal is not very good. So hold down the radio and count to 5 if we're live. Okay, so I'm just going to assume we're live because I can't hear Kirsten in final control. And we are with the Nkahuma Pride, and apparently there are 6 individuals here. Now, I can only see the 2 lionesses at the moment that are feeding. And so the mothers of the cubs are here on the buffalo kill. It looks like a big old dugger boy that they've caught. That's probably why it took so long to kill it. Now, he's a very big buffalo. So I'm trying to see that others are sleeping in the back. I can just see the remnant, or a belly in the distance. There we go. Okay, it sounds like Tingana is actually getting close to going to Juma as well. So I'll try to call James in a second. Look at that, look at that. Lipstick, lion and lipstick. Bye. Okay, I know Kirsten's trying to talk to me, but I can't hear her. I'm just going to reverse slightly where my aerial might be a bit higher. Okay, now, as I said, I'm not 100% sure whether we're live or not. And I'm just going to try. There we go. Okay, I'm just amazing that. I moved a meter and I can hear Kirsty. Let's just get a little bit closer. So I'm afraid it's probably not going to be able to take questions when we're down in the bottom of this riverbed, just because I'm not going to be able to hear, but we'll give it a try. So there we go. She's busy opening up the stomach. Oh, beautiful lines. Now, I can see a third lioness, but apparently there are 4 lionesses, but apparently all 5 are here, plus a male, but I can't see him. And he must be quite full if he's not dominating the carcass. So they're the ones lying up in the shade behind. Now, nice big buffalo bull, old buffalo bull, probably 12, 13 years old, and maybe suffering a little bit from the drought. And it is a massive feat for these lionesses to be able to take down an animal of this size. Now, we have seen them do it live, but it took quite a long time to kill this particular buffalo. Apparently he was alive for a good half an hour or 14 minutes while they were trying to kill him. Now, hi Marianne. Marianne's wondering if it's unusual for a buffalo to still be alive while the lions are killing it. Not at all. I think the longest I've ever seen a buffalo take to die was in over an hour, and the lions were actually already feeding on it while he was bellowing. And it was also a big bull like this. And you can see how she's using her premolars like a pair of side cutters there to cut through the thick buffalo skin. So I'm just going to, okay, so Tingana's crossing over at the power lines. So I'm going to see if James is close by. So I'm going to just let Kirsten tell him that Tingana is crossed into Juma at the power lines. And I think Ephraim is with him at the moment. Okay, let's try reposition a bit. I think I've got a plan where we can have good comms and a good view. You holding on, Dave? Ooh, we don't want to get stuck next to a lion now, do we? There we go. Look at that. Whoopsie, sorry, girlie. Right above her. Isn't that spectacular? So we're right above her on a little ridge. Look at this. Now I'm gonna keep quiet and let you listen to this. So Dave's gonna put the sound up. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, ripping the meat. Look at this, isn't this amazing? So it's not uncommon for not all the lions to feed after a hunt like this. It's been exhausting to bring down an animal of this size. Oh, sorry, just on the radio. Standing by. Copy, thanks, no problem. So the others are resting. I can only see 4. I can't see the 5th lioness, but she could easily be around here. Now, for the Nkahuma's sake, let's hope the Birmingham boys don't find this. And I'm surprised that white-headed vulture we saw earlier didn't spot this. A huge Safari Live welcome to Bigger Picture, who's a brand new viewer. Really exciting to have you with us, Bigger Picture. Now, Bigger Picture is wondering, is this not dangerous being this close to the lion? So the lion from her, if we come out a bit there, Dave, you can see here I am, and to her bum there is about, oh, there we go. Dave's got a measuring distance thing. I think it's about 6 foot.
4.9 meters.
No, a bit longer than 6 foot. I think your measuring device is slightly out, Dave. That's definitely not 4 meters. I'd say it's probably 2.5, 3 meters. Yes, well, it also could be because we're on the height here. So the reason it's not dangerous is we're in a car. And a car has only been around for about 100 years, just over 100 years. So they don't have an instinctive response to vehicles, and they also don't smell like anything they know. So it doesn't smell like any potential danger. It smells like gasoline and oil and hydraulic fluids and stuff like that. And that overpowers most other smells. And lions don't see in detail like we do. So they probably don't know there's a person on the vehicle. It's just this thing that follows them around that is not worth chasing or eating. Now, these lions have grown up with safari vehicles around. Look at that, her head's right inside. And if you drive carefully and respectfully around them, they enable you to get incredibly close like this. And we're just very, very, very lucky to work in an area where the lions are this relaxed. Now, I've worked in areas where lions run from cars. And it's taken me 3 to 6 months to teach the lions that we're not trying to hurt them, that we're not a threat to them. Oh, this is absolutely spectacular. Now, fortunately, these lions are going to be here for quite a while, probably 2 days or so, unless a male joins, or hyenas decide to start chasing them. If there is a male here, the hyenas will stay away, but if there's no male, the hyenas in the right number, I think it generally works out to be 4 or 5 hyenas per lioness for them to chase the lioness off. And it also depends on how full the lions are and how hungry the hyenas are. But I think by the sunset safari, vultures will descend in. I think these trees will be littered with vultures come sunset safari. So they've walked quite a long way from where they were last night. Oh, she's getting angry with the buffalo carcass. Growling the fact she can't get a piece of meat out of there. Now, I think she might have also thought one of the other lionesses was also coming to feed. And lions can be very aggressive with each other around a carcass. Now you can actually see there, that is the hip, the pelvis. You can actually see the bone there. And then through that hole there, you can actually see one of the 4 stomachs. And I'll try to avoid popping that as much as possible, but eventually it will. Now, Cecilia, who's in the UK, is wondering, did any of these lions get injured while taking down this buffalo? Cecilia, it's very difficult for us to tell at the moment. We've only seen one really get up and walk, and she looked fine. The others are lying down in the shade, so impossible for us to tell just yet. I'm sure we will be spending quite a bit more time with them at this buffalo carcass, so and we'll be able to see. Now, I've actually seen this buffalo bull before. Now, if we go to his horn there, Dave, there's a very distinct break on the tip of his horn. So I've actually seen this buffalo before. I recognize that horn shape. Munchy, munchy, munchy. You can still see there's lots of flies around, and those flies were probably on the buffalo. Oh, are you full as well now? Oh, look at that belly. This is one of the moms. I can see suckle marks on her nipples. So that's probably why she's gluttoning so much. Okay, we're going to move down now so we can see them. Because she's